You can just apply for a couple of jobs online and receive the money. What if I actually get the job? Do I just quit or just go there and make everybody hate me and get fired? Go to interview and just answer all questions with a StarCraft reference. Yeah. The thing is that I have like a terrible education. So that's good. Lower the chances of getting the job. The thing is, when I talk to those people, they will probably look into how much my income is and so on. And I'll tell you what, guys, I've been making a lot of money that I did not pay taxes upon. Tournament winnings, old salary from years back. But I've heard that if if it's like an income that was older than 1 year, it doesn't. They can't fuck you for that. Do you think you'll fit well in into our company? No, fuck you. Just go be a douchebag everywhere. Yeah, maybe I should look into that. Yeah. If it's that much money, then I definitely should. Even if it means what I'm doing is unethical. Because I bet a fuckload of people are doing it. $7,000 is like more than what I make from StarCraft. So there are people in Sweden doing absolutely nothing making more than me. That's cool. That's cool. Play a villa on his balanced test map. No thank you. But can only imagine the kind of shit he came up with. I don't know why I'm not ranking up. Feels like I'm winning every game. Why is it that I lose like this much points for losing and then I get like nothing for winning? I think the MMR or the ladder system is still like broken. I think what the ladder system is trying to do is keep everybody at the same rank that they actually are. And make it very hard for anybody to move up or move down. That's my theory anyway. Why not study and get a job you enjoy? Because I enjoy what I'm doing already. StarCraft is all I've done my whole life. If I give up now, then it was basically all for nothing. Because I think esport is a growing industry, and I was here when it began. I have like the most experience. I could go into like any field in esport and do great right now. Like theoretically I would do great, but I won't actually get into any part of esport. So it's like they hire douchebags who have no idea what they're doing. So maybe later down the road I could work within esport or whatever, or work within streaming, anything gaming related. I think I could excel at. Whereas if I just go study and get a job, then suddenly I'm behind like 6 years of everybody. Because I've just been doing this. So I read up on ekonomisk bistånd and I was wrong. If you want to apply for ekonomisk bistånd, you have to also register on Arbetsförmedlingen and look for jobs. But then again, you can always say that streaming is your job, so I don't know how they will react on that. Yeah, but if I openly say that streaming is my job, then why would I get any cash from that? Yeah, it's like I said, I told you, man. If you want that cash, you gotta look for a job. So I don't know why you're getting all the money that you are. Or become the first esport teacher. Yeah, if only they had that in school. Like a class. I would name my class like how to become a winner at anything. They should actually have that to teach you about your mentality and how you go about doing something and excelling at it. Schools in general are just fucking awful, and everybody in school is wasting their time. School is basically like social education for real life. It's like a launching point to get you into the world. Whereas anything you actually do in school is completely a waste of time. Social education is fairly important. Yeah, yes, it is. It's just that the classes that you could be doing in school could be a lot better from what you're actually doing. For example, why is let's take an example here. Alright, so why is learning about fucking retarded shit like religion more important than learning about like your body, like what to eat, exercise, how to live a healthy life? They don't teach about stress. They don't teach you anything in school, basically. So imagine if you spent all those hours actually talking to somebody who would teach you these things that you find out later that you should have actually been learning. Learn about that tomorrow. Not where I went to school. Obviously, some schools are different, but in general, schools is a whole lot of crap, and everybody knows that. Like 80% of what you learn in school, you forget in like 2 weeks. Yeah, so I got bored of school because I felt it was a waste of time. And once you feel like I do, you can't force yourself to go to school every day, despite it pushing you towards getting a job sometime. But then there are of course idiots out there who actually thinks that what they're learning in school is important, and they end up with more education than the actually smart people who figured out that what they're learning is retarded and they're wasting their time. So you see how it's twisted around the other way. But this is a StarCraft stream. We shouldn't be talking about that. We should be talking about why I only get 6 points for winning. 5 points. That's just like, why don't I get to play players in my own skill level? Maybe all the high ranks are dodging me because they're afraid. Religion is quite good though. So you can get an understanding why people from all over the world are different. I think religion is bullshit myself, but still good to know why some people are like they are. Yes, some religion is good, but you don't need to study religion for like 4 years in school, 1 hour every week, to know that some people are different. Once you actually step outside of real world, you'll meet a fucking Hindu guy and he will tell you about this religion in like 5 minutes and you're like, oh, I guess he's different. Sounds like you're making excuses for bumming around. How's it an excuse? I explained my thought process. This is where you either come with a counter argument or admit I'm right. Not true. History bring knowledge of the future. Hard to get that in a 10-minute conversation. I don't remember anything from school about history. I know more about history from watching TV and TV shows. I know more about history from watching Gladiator and Game of Thrones than I do from fucking religion when I was a kid. I don't remember anything from history class. Anything at all. So that's also like a huge waste of time. I'm not saying the subjects are a waste of time. I'm saying the way that you learned it, like 1 hour every week or 2 hours every week for like 10 years. Why did you need all that time? Like the part with Hitler, like, alright, sure, that was kind of good to know, but what about the other fucking 900 sessions you had in school? Do you remember what those were about? If you do, then you're probably not. Probably didn't fill your brain with much. Otherwise, actually good information. What about going to university then, MorroW? I've never been to university. I don't know what people do there. Yes, I do know that like the higher up you get in education, the more relevant things you're actually learning. It's just a shame that it takes them like over 10 years to teach a kid about the most basic things they could learn in like a year. And then you could spend all that other time socializing and enjoying life. Think about it this way. Talking about history with other people is like talking about the news, except those news were like 50 years ago, and people barely remember what happened and give you limited information. But yeah, you know I'm right. I don't know. I'm not discussing with anybody or arguing with anybody since everybody obviously agrees. We should play more games. I'll tell you though, what they should have actually been teaching you in school. Rather than history, they should have been teaching you about politics and what's actually going on in the world right now. And they should have been teaching you how the society works, how taxes work, who gets money for doing absolutely nothing. That's the kind of stuff they should have actually taught you. Because I wish I knew that right now. They should have been teaching you about protein, carbohydrates. You see, I can barely even know the word for it. About the different fats, about different food, vitamins, minerals. But another thing that they don't teach is ethics, which is very important, which should be very important. Yes, absolutely.
Additional pilots. You have not enough minerals.
But here's my crazy theory, guys. It's that in the future that we will live in a certain amount of years, there will be so good technology for everything and such a efficient way to do everything that basically over half the jobs that even exist right now won't exist in the future. And that's obvious to many people, maybe, but that's something I think about sometimes. Imagine you go to fucking taxi school right now. You get your education for that, or whatever. And then in 3 years down the road, you have fucking free driving cars, and you get fucked. And then you wasted 3 years on that education or whatever. I think in the future, people will just give you money for not doing anything. I don't think you would just. There wouldn't have to be a reason why not to give you anything.
With keen.
I am here in the shadows. Very well.
Son of a bitch.
You have not enough minerals for the reckoning. Your probes are under attack. You have not enough minerals.
Sideways.
Your probes are under attack.
Breathe.
Research complete.
Kinala Atun.
You require my skills. State that you require. I am the voice. You have not enough minerals. You have not enough minerals. beast. You must construct additional pylons. You must construct additional pylons. You must place that in the power field. I return to serve.
We await. Direct us. Keen. Defensive instruction.
You require my skills. I return to serve.
Didn't think it was gonna break the rocks to go through there. 11 points, alright. I'll take it. That's at least something. No money, no ladder points, and never enough minerals. Feels bad, man. There is no taxi school. What do you know? That was just an example, obviously. Something that everybody knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, the obvious kind of jobs to me are all the fucking office jobs. All the old ladies sitting in an office and they have like an Excel document that they gotta fill out and then they're done for the day. Now these kind of jobs will disappear almost like in the coming 10 years, because this will be refined and people will start realize how to do this more efficiently. So you don't need 100 people doing some database management when you can have a program that does it, or a human that's very smart just do it. And I can imagine there's a lot of, maybe some of you who are watching who have office jobs like that. Yes, most work is like you don't actually work with your hands. You work towards some kind of computer or a machine. Now when these computers and machines become smarter, more efficient, then they won't need you anymore. Which is very logical. So a lot of jobs will disappear. That's what I think anyway. I'm not saying that's how it is, but that's what I think. And then what will happen is that there will be new laws around taxes. There will be reverse taxes. So you basically get money for just being you. That's what I think will happen. The alternative is that everybody gets like, we try to maintain the amount of jobs we have, but people get like these make-believe jobs that are ridiculously easy, and then they're at work, but they basically don't have to do anything. They need you for like 30 minutes a day, and for the rest of the day you're screwing around. And we already have plenty of those jobs. And I see a lot of people from my chat even who are like, oh, I'm at work. Like, okay. And I think it will happen I think quite a bit will happen in the coming 20 years. To me, it just doesn't seem logical to me that like half of the population of said country needs to actually work. Like what are you working at? What do you need to do? Oh, you need to get somewhere? Take the subway that's automatically driven. Do you need food? Oh, well, we produce that food. Machinery digs that food up. Nobody's actually cooking this food. And soon enough, nobody's even serving this food to you. And soon enough, nobody's even bringing all the ingredients together to where it is produced. Because you'll have self-driving cars. It makes sense, right? They will need me. I code the software. Yeah, that's a bit naive. But yes, you have a very important job if you're actually part of the programming of the new things to come. But the thing about it is that you produce one thing, you have like a skeleton, and then any company can take that code and apply it to them, and then they can change it to whatever suits their need. We have a fuckload of different programs out there that do the same thing. Paint, PaintNet, Photoshop, InfraView, there are hundreds of programs that do what Photoshop does. But once you actually get Photoshop and it's considered the best, then everybody uses that, and it's the same for every software. It becomes really interesting when robots starts coding the software. Yeah, like definitely, but you don't even have to push it that far. Like already, software is helping the human code the software. right? So you sit there in C++, and the program is telling you that there's a typo, and the program is looking up functions for you that seem to fit. So everybody's getting these crazy educations because they want to be a doctor, and then they become a doctor, and then a robot is a doctor instead of that guy. Like, okay, it will happen. There will be a generation that fucking goes to school and does all this crazy shit to hopefully get a job in the future, and then they just then they get out of their the graduation day, and they find out that, oh, there's robot arms now that does all surgery. You can go fuck yourself. You're correct, Mario, but what if it takes 20 years? Do you want to have too little money for the next 20 years? 20 years is a lot of time. There is no waste in studying for 3 years and working for 17. Yeah, I wasn't making that or this is not my excuse for not going to work and not studying. This is just an observation and what I think will happen. But of course, I think there will be a transition period of many years, and it will take many years for this to come. This is not why I don't study. That would make me a lunatic. And you shouldn't repress to do things just because you are afraid that it might not pan out, basically. Like if you you can apply that to anything. Like let's see if I can come up with an example. I'm terrible at giving examples. No, my brain just froze. Yeah, you should basically not be afraid of what the future may hold to stop you from what you are planning to do in the future. I'm simply just stating that there will be people who will live lives like this. They will fucking work like nobody's ever worked to get that degree, and then they won't even get a job in the end anyway. There are already people like this. Just because you get a degree and everything doesn't mean that there are available spots for you. Because we are too many people for too few jobs, and this is something that will keep happening. And I find it a little bit what's the word for it? I find it like pretty upsetting that this does not seem to be the motion or the notion that this could very well happen. So they keep telling all these kids like, oh, you need an education, oh, do this, do that, go to school for 15 years. Everybody's doing it, it's so great. And not for once they stop and say that, oh, well, there is a chance that whatever education you get, it actually means jack shit. Just because you went to music school doesn't mean you will fucking play on the guitar in front of millions of people or whatever. Just because you have that audio audio education doesn't mean you will actually work in movie editing and fix the audio there, because there might not be jobs for that. So my advice to basically anybody is just say, do what you enjoy to do for the moment. Don't hate life for 10 years to enjoy life later, because I think that's the wrong approach to life. You see, I'm the kind of guy who practices StarCraft 2 because I enjoy it. If I was hating it and all I saw was the carrot to win a championship in the end, I would not be doing what I'm doing right now. But there is a fuck ton of pro gamers out there, or gamers out there, aspiring to be pro gamers because they want to win tournaments. And then they don't actually enjoy sitting in single player working on a build order for 3 hours or study VODs. They just wanna win in the end, and they don't really think about what's the road there. And you can apply this to anything. I think that makes sense. But yeah, no, that's not like not at all like an excuse for me to just sit around and do nothing. Like, oh, robots will come soon enough. I don't have to do anything. Like this. That's like saying, oh, why should I start a company that will pay off in 100 years? My kids will probably die. Like. Why do anything? There will be World War III any second now, guys. We will all die very soon. I shouldn't get this education. Oh, the whole planet is gonna sink, guys. I don't need to clean my room. Reality check. As much as this is apparent for the future, MorroW is lucky to be a pro gamer right now. None of y'all have much of an excuse to do nothing. Get educated, get work, get money, do something. I think I would be rather sitting right now. Oh, it's a left ear. All right, I'll try to fix that. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Are you sure it's just a left ear? It's fine now? Okay. I fixed it with my bopping. But yeah, like I said, I would be pretty happy right now if I actually did have a great education. If I could just say, all right, fuck pro gaming, I'll go work on 3D movies. I'll go be a programmer or whatever I wanted to do. But you could say that about anybody at any time. Like, oh man, I should have worked out for all those years. I would be fucking ripped right now. That's not great logic. For you to look back to say, I should have done that. You need to be able to look at your situation right now and come up with a reason why you wouldn't do it right now. Because in a few years you will end up in the situation where you ask the same question about why you weren't doing this now. And working out is a great example because I think everybody can relate to that. I don't see fit to get an education right now. I don't have time. I'm too stressed out with streaming and pro gaming. But it would be hypocritical of me to say that, oh, I should have gotten that education a couple of years ago while I was still doing what I'm doing now. Mora, what is your #1 tip for someone who wants to become a pro gamer, or is it already too late to start walking down that road? No, you can be a pro gamer, not in StarCraft 2. You should pick a game that's on the horizon and pick a game that's likely to become a big esport, and then you should dedicate yourself to that. Yeah, I think the pro gamer business will only get better as the years go by. I mean, just look at it. Like, I was one of the best foreigners in Brood War, which was like completely dead. I was better at Brood War compared to other players than I am right now at StarCraft 2. Yet I make 10 times more money now than I did in Brood War. I think in the future of esports, you will just be a pro gamer. Like, it will be like you're a like just pick like a random sport that's kind of underground, like badminton player, and you'll get cash for that and make a living. But yeah, it will of course take a while before pro gaming becomes that big. I mean, they were talking about, oh, pro gaming is gonna be huge, guys. I was hearing that 5 years ago, and look at where we're at now. Sure, it's bigger, but it didn't, like, what? I don't see League of Legends on TV next to football, but that's what some people were saying. So yeah, you can definitely become a pro. But the question is, do you want to? But my advice for you would be to enjoy the practice and your adventure to that championship, and don't look forward to the actual championship. Because if that's all you do, then you're never gonna be a champion. Where nobody wants esports on TV, it's a worse viewing experience. Yeah, it's just as an example to like put them next to each other. Of course, we don't want to watch esport on TV. I was just making a point that football is still bigger than esport. Any sport is bigger than esport. Fucking canoeing is bigger than esport, as far as I know. What is less hard, becoming a streamer or a programmer? Maybe you meant pro gamer. It's easier to become a streamer and make a living than a pro gamer. It's not even close. To become a successful streamer, you don't even have to be smart. You can be like genuinely fucking dumb and be obnoxious. Just look at the Avilo. To be a pro gamer, you have to have that extra special spark that most people don't. anybody who says like, oh, I could be a pro gamer if I just didn't have to work, go to school, I could be one of the best. Like, no, you would not. It's quite something to dedicate your whole life to something that nobody gives a fuck about. None of your friends give a fuck about. And your parents don't want you to do it. And you're just sitting doing that all day long. You lose your friends, you don't have a girlfriend, you never go out, you never drink, you have no education after it. Like, to become a pro gamer, you need a lot of motivation and enjoy the game to quite a different level than what most people do. So anybody here says like, oh, I could be a pro, man, like they're so fucking ignorant, it's unbelievable. Being a pro gamer doesn't have to be like that though, MorroW. You could have a girlfriend, friends, go out, etc. If I had any of those, I don't think I would be where I'm at right now. Mana has a girlfriend. Well, did he? A couple of years ago, when he actually got his accomplishments. Sure, there are exceptions, and there are people with different degrees of talent or whatever, or playing a good race. That doesn't mean that what I'm saying is not true. If you actually want to win and be successful as a pro gamer, you have to give up almost everything that you have in your life right now. What did you do, MorroW? Alright, so here's what I did. I was pretty popular in school, and this is like the school you are until you're like 15, right? The last 2 years of that school, I gradually got dispatched from my friends and my friend circle because I was playing StarCraft 1 and taking that shit very, very seriously. And then we moved on to the next school, the gymnasium. I'm not sure if that's called that in English. So I was going there for a couple of years. I basically had like 50% absence because, again, I was just playing StarCraft. And then I won IEM 2010. Then I became a champion. But I was playing the best race, right? So is that helped me a lot. I was not actually the best player there. I think the best player during that event was Dimaga. And he had years of more experience than I did, who has been playing StarCraft 1 for all these years. Because he has been playing StarCraft 1 for twice as long as me. So he was actually the best. But I won that anyway, and then I quit school because that was too time consuming, and then I was just full-time pro gaming since then. What I do now is wake up, an average day, like wake up, go to the store, make food, prepare food for the rest of the day so I can stream, then start streaming. I'll be streaming like 8 hours, and then that's over, and then I'll be watching, and then there's like 4 hours of watching Korean StarCraft every day on a daily basis. Not even kidding. Or maybe 3 hours. So then all that's gone. Now maybe 12 hours has passed. I'll do like 1 hour of general, maybe 1 hour goes away in general on like esports stuff. Just different things like talking to people, talking to my team, looking up tournaments, just all that other stuff. And then there's 2 hours left. And then we put in, then we have like eating, and then there's fucking showering, and then there's doing laundry, doing dishes, and then there's, 1 or 2 hours left, and then that's my time, I'll be watching TV series or whatever. But sure, you could use that 1 hour to just see your girlfriend. Sure. Just, would she actually wanna be your girlfriend if you have 1 hour for her every day? And if so, then sure. If you have friends you want to hang out with 1 hour every day, sure, you can do that. Like, I'm not telling you have to give up everything, but that it will just naturally become like that, because your whole life is gonna become StarCraft. Let's say you want to be a pro gamer in StarCraft. Like, your whole life becomes StarCraft. You don't give a fuck about the stories they tell you, like, oh, I met this girl, she was so hot. Like, you're thinking about build orders while your friend is talking about that. And then your friends will lose interest in you, because then you're asking, oh, what about you? Did you see any hot girls? And you're like, no, I was playing StarCraft for 12 hours today. So they don't give a fuck about you anymore. You don't give a fuck about them. And then you slowly, over time, you lose contact because you have nothing in common anymore. So yeah, I'm telling you, yeah, you can have friends. Like, would you want to? I don't think so. Monty, I'm not sure. Like, again here, I know what you're talking about, MorroW, but it doesn't have to be 24/7 StarCraft. Taking breaks once a week from StarCraft 2 is good for you, and you can find a balance. Like, okay, so okay. Is that advice coming from you, Monte, or is this just some random general advice like, oh, rest, man, don't worry about it? Like, it's no offense, but you have no credibility compared to me, and that's just general advice you could give to anybody about anything. I don't disagree with you completely though. Taking breaks can be good, but if you take 2 hours off every week, suddenly that starts adding up, and then you become what we call mediocre. Then we become in the area where we're, top 50 GM and don't qualify for IM. Now, to be a successful pro gamer, you have to make a living out of it. And to do that, you have to get to these tournaments and place relatively highly. That's what a successful pro gamer is. And now me, who's been doing nothing but playing all this since Legacy came out, did not qualify. It goes to show that the level of competition we're at right now. But to get to where I'm at, in the first place, I had not directly had to, but I did do all those things to get to where I'm at right now. But yeah, I'm not pretending that I have, you know, practiced, had a schedule like this for the past 5 years. That's not true. I've had periods of time where I haven't played for months. But I'm just telling you what it's like. If you wanna be a successful programmer, I'm just trying to explain what it takes and what you need to be ready to do to accomplish that. You shouldn't look at like, oh, how much do you want to win a tournament? Do you want to win a tournament? Ask that question to anybody on planet Earth and they will say yes. Instead, you should be asking, hey, do you want to practice 10 hours a day? Do you want to not see your family and friends anymore? Do you want to break up with your girlfriend? Do you want to make like sub-minimal wage, live on noodles? Those are the kind of questions you should be asking yourself. Because these are the sacrifices that you're expected to be able to make. So that's why I think it's fucking dumb. People who just say like, people who in general criticize pro gamers or any athletes, that actually just, that you, anything you just give up everything for, to just simply say like, oh well, if I didn't do, you know, go to work, then I could beat him. No, go fuck yourself.